Hi, this is Aaron with Zollotech, and today I'm going to be comparing WebOS versus Android. Now, these have the latest versions of either OS on them, and this is the latest hardware. Now, this has been out since about January. Before that on Sprint, this is the Pre Plus. This is Froyo, or the latest Android phone, the Droid 2. And I want to compare a couple different things. So, the hardware, obviously, you've got a ton of choices with Android. Most of these designs are very industrial, robotic almost, and that's obviously or Android-like. That's obviously the intent. If you've seen most of Verizon's commercials, it's kind of like as my wife says, an evil transformer. The thing says Droid every time it has an email, if it's on its default settings, that sort of thing. The hardware on the Palm Pre is supposed to be more organic, more nature-like. They said this was designed after a pebble, or a stone, or a smooth stone rather. Fits in the hand nicely. You have two choices of hardware, the Pre Plus or the Pixie Plus on Verizon, or the Pre and Pixie on Sprint. Either way, you've only got two devices to choose from. You've got a bunch from Android. At least 4 or 5 on Verizon currently, maybe 6 in many other carriers. The OS itself, though, this is where the Palm, in my opinion, excels. It's one of the nicest or prettiest OSs to take a look at. You can see these are the default backgrounds that came with the phones. Didn't want to change anything just to give the normal look of the phone. You can see this is much more gray, black tones. This is very vibrant, bright. It's very nice the way things move. And they're both decent. They both multitask. This is actually pretty fast. Android's pretty fast. This has only, I believe, a 600 megahertz processor in it, but if you've seen some of the hacks, it can be overclocked quite a bit if you really wanted to. They both have multitasking. Now, for me, multitasking is handled much nicer on the Palm Pre than any other device, in my opinion, out there as far as a handheld. Now that Palm has been bought by HP, I really appreciate that they're going to be continuing with this OS, because this is a really nice OS. It's very elegant. It's very good looking. Oh, here we go again. Loading one of the Flash videos from my site. So let's go ahead and let's open the marketplace. Let's open a couple things. Now on the Pre, I can just swipe up, and this is their card system. We have different cards, and this is what's running. I can go into that card, I can swipe up, go back, or I can just tap the center and it'll bring it back and forth. Very elegant and nice. When I want to close it, I throw it off the screen. On Android, I can hold the home button, and there's the different things that are running. And I can switch to those, Google search, and it will switch quite quickly. To close those, though, you have to download a separate app, which isn't a problem, and it's nice that you don't really have to manage it. But it's easier to do on the Pre. As far as the web browser itself, Flash was supposed to be out by now for the WebOS operating system. Why that's on hold, I don't know. Maybe because of the HP thing. Not really sure. But that said, there is a newer version coming out sometime soon on the Pre, and HP has said they will continue the hardware, and today they will be continuing the OS on a tablet to be released at the beginning of this coming year. So that's pretty encouraging for WebOS as a platform. The browser itself supports Flash on Android Froyo here already. It's going to play my video.
Now this giveaway is for...
It's a giveaway video I hit play on. You can see it's a little bit buggy. Just doing that. I'm not going to open it just because of that, but it plays Flash nicely, and you could hear that. On here we don't have Flash, but if I want to search, I can just type in Zollotech. It's pretty difficult to type when I'm looking through the camera here. There we go. And the hardware keyboard actually on the Pre I really like. Both Palm devices have a hardware keyboard, or a QWERTY keyboard, portrait slider in this case. I like the web browser. It seems fast, very quick, and some browser comparisons. Now, the App Store is a huge difference between these two phones. The app catalog on Android is huge, and I mean huge like the only thing bigger right now is Apple's App Store. And that could be overtaken in the future, but right now Android's App Store is large, has a ton of titles, both from Google and third parties, and most of them are free. The App Store on Android or on WebOS is not so good. I believe it's only a couple thousand at this point, but hopefully that grows in the future, and that that's kind of something that is up in the air right now. Now, as far as future support, we know Android's going to be around for a long time. It's quickly becoming the dominant force in the mobile handset arena. This and the iPhone, they're up there. I don't see why, well, Android has surpassed sales-wise. I don't see why it doesn't quickly surpass total numbers, if it hasn't already. WebOS is up there, or out there as far as numbers go. There are people that have them. The people that do have the Pre and Pixie generally like them. They like the hardware design, and they're pretty happy with them from what I understand. The problem is, in the future, we were unsure until HP bought them. That said, one big feature for me anyway on Verizon is you get free Wi-Fi hotspot on the Pre and Pixie Plus. You get the free Wi-Fi hotspot on that, where you can buy that on Froyo, but it's $20 extra a month. It was originally more money on these, but Verizon decided to change that policy, so that's a really nice bonus for this piece of hardware. Rumor is they're running out of stock, and maybe a device might be coming up soon, but that's yet to be seen. Overall, though, if you're trying to make a choice and you want something that's very easy to use, elegant, simple, and a great messaging phone, I would suggest WebOS. If you're more of a techie, or you want a ton of different, you want it to do everything that you can imagine and then some, I would suggest Android. That said, it's hard to say where either of these go in the future, but Android is definitely going to be around for a long time. WebOS, as much as I like it, hopefully stays around for a long time, but it's hard to say, especially with Windows Phone 7 coming out with a pretty impressive OS as well. But I do have to say that next to an iPhone, WebOS gives it a run for its money as far as elegance. Android gives just about anything a run for its money as far as functionality. So that's really what you need to consider. This is Aaron with Zollotech. Please feel free to ask any questions. Thank you for subscribing, and please continue to subscribe. I'll see you next time.